What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of WWE. We're in front of 19,000 people at the Barclays Center. A little less than we usually get, but I thought it'd be fun. We're in the Barclays Center. We have some opening pre-show matches as Richie Steamboat defeats Kaji Tomato from FCW in 6:33 with a flying crossbody, getting Richie Steamboat, not Ricky, a very much needed win. And then we have a big 8-man tag team in which we have the world's greatest tag team and the Young Bucks taking on the Kings of Wrestling in Crime Time, with the heels picking up the win after JTD hit Nick Jackson with the shutout. The shutout. I thought there was some weird noises going on. Anyway, we open the show with CM Punk coming out, and he says, "Alright, it's time for me to shoot, kids. I'm going to shoot on Daniel Bryan." And he sits down and he goes, Daniel Bryan is the kind of guy who, you expect me to come out. I've said that I'm the best in the world. But you know what? I will give Daniel Bryan some credit before we have our match at Royal Rumble. You see, we... And he takes a long second to... It's not me just, forgetting. He just takes a long second. He goes, Daniel Bryan is better than half the people in that locker room. And I really don't know if I will beat him. At least 100%. I am 50-50. I've done my Steiner math, and I know I have a shot at beating Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan, what I've learned so far, is probably belongs with me in the future of WWE. I know people out there do not like that. People like your, how do I say, Triple H's, your Miz's. But Daniel Bryan is something different. He is something great. And I cannot take that away from him. We have a tag match. Me and Wade Barrett versus him and Alex Riley. And I will proceed as normal. But just know this, that come the Royal Rumble, you will witness, if you watch it on the network, one of the greatest matches this company has ever had. And there truly will be the standard bearer for who will lead us into the next coming years. And there's that. And then we open up the show. We have Dolph Ziggler taking on Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose gets the shocking win again, screwing Perfect Fortune in individual tag matches after interference from Roman Reigns. Referees turn around, bam, just fucking annihilates him with the spear. And Seth Rollins came in to distract Ziggler too. He probably distracted the referee, allowing Roman Reigns to get the win. And then a Dirty Deed follows it up, picking up that win with Dolph Ziggler. Great match, 84 B+. And then we have a kind of squash kind of match in which Kevin Steen of Insane takes on David Otunga. That's right. I have some news. There have been some releases. Some people have been future endeavored. And they are this. There's Mason Ryan, formerly tagging with Alex Riley. It just had nothing for him. Tyler Reeks, David Otunga's former partner, had nothing for him. Eve Maxine, and then Abraham Washington have all been released from the company and will have their future endeavors. I like to book everybody, but I just can't. And those are the people who have to go. Maybe they'll go to Disney. Maybe they'll go to TNA. We will see. I will keep you up to date with how that happens. But David Otunga looks to try to get a singles outing. It does not work as he gets hit with a package pile driver by Kevin Steen in 7:57. And Perfect Fortune basically cut a promo on the Shield that's "fuck you, I hate you." They talk about how the Shield have been screwing them and how on SmackDown their lives are just as bad, having to deal with the constant whining of the Saviors of Perfection. And they go, they are the Perfect Fortunes. More importantly, they are the WWE Tag Team Champions, and they are ready and set to become the new... I don't know where I was going with it. They're set to become the Ultimate Tag Team Champions, the ones who will lead us into the future. I just copied the CM Punk promo. They say they're going to beat the Shield and Saviors of Perfection at Royal Rumble. And next we have the Dynasty, and we see them. It's in a video section, and they talk about, they talk about how John Morrison and Brock Lesnar will fight in our main event because they think that's good. It's code name for, we want them to beat the fuck out of each other so we don't got to worry about it. And they said, we've heard the rumors. We've heard the Dynasty's cracks. But you know what? We all got together because we're professionals in a business We're not wrestlers. We are sports entertainers, and that is a business of entertainment. We got together, and we discussed our problems like normal fucking people. The Miz understands what he needs to do from now on. Randy Orton understands what he needs to do from now on. We will get to that title shot when we get to that title shot. But for now, there is no cracks in our system. John Morrison, Brock Lesnar? Well, we'll just have to see when that finds out. So the Dynasty standing united. They seem to have been cracking, but now they affirm that they're in place. Just their basic kind of, I will say, is Randy Orton's facial expressions are interesting. Same with the Miz. But, they seem to be a united front, and that's important. And Bray Wyatt beats the fuck out of Santina Marella, because fuck Santina Marella. 8:39 with the sister Abigail. And Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family talk. They laugh. They basically say what they usually say, Chris Jericho, they basically call him the old god, basically saying he's old, he's washed up, and that it's time for Bray Wyatt to systematically hunt down these quote-unquote old gods. And, he makes these threats, and Chris Jericho comes out, and Wyatt officially challenges Chris Jericho, not at the Royal Rumble, but for next week's show. So that is a big, big moment for Bray Wyatt. He will go one-on-one with Chris Jericho next week, kind of in that kind of spooktastic feud. Next we have a U.S. Wow, oh, holy shit, I just saw Austin Aries rating. Austin Aries defends both his NXT and U.S. titles, cocky asshole, against Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu takes him to the limit, but Austin Aries hits the Brainbuster in 1717 to make defense number 7 of his NXT title and defense number 3 of his United States title. And after that, what was supposed to be a match, but I ran out of time, between Natalya and AJ Lee is disrupted as Melissa and Astrid start beating both of them down. Velvet runs down to make the save, and there's a giant brawl, WWE Brawl, where you don't really learn any storylines. There's just a brawl for the sake of a brawl. And we have another squash match as Red Dragon take on Sports Entertainment Security. Of course, they pick up the win with a Cobra Clutch backbreaker on Kyle O'Reilly by the Big Show. I'm trying to see. Big Show did pretty good. Kane did decent for everything that's considered. It's 6th match, so, we don't really got to worry about a lot of that stuff. But Sports Entertainment Security picking up a win. Representatives of the Dynasty, as we all know. John Morrison then gets set out, and he basically just talks, look, I understand what's going on here. They want me to fight Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a big dude. I fought Brock Lesnar before. I'm going to fight Brock Lesnar again. It didn't work out for me that time, but this time I have him well scouted. I know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. I am going to pick up that win. So basically, John Morrison pretty confident going into his main event match with Brock Lesnar. And in a 91A, Daniel Bryan and Alex Riley take on CM Punk and Wade Barrett. And CM Punk defeats Alex Riley by submission with the Anaconda Vice after him and Wade Barrett blatantly cheated. Alex Riley drove the kind of thing down for a second, but, whatever. It's also noted Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, CM Punk cheated. He never said he wasn't going to cheat. He never said he wasn't going to do that, but, he respects Daniel Bryan. That doesn't mean he's going to cheat because this is wrestling, and that's how that works, He's a bad guy. He understands that I can cheat if I want to. It doesn't fucking matter. So they basically kind of brawl for a little bit. And speaking of brawls, England's finest all come down to beat the shit out of Alex Riley after Alex Riley, obviously, attacks their leader. But Evan Bourne and Yujiro Pimp Tokyo Takahashi comes down, and they all fucking brawl with each other. Kind of Evan Bourne and Yujiro having a kind of friendship, a bromance, as well as Alex Riley, all common enemy. Will we see this 6-man at Royal Rumble or something? We'll see the 6-man at Royal Rumble is basically what I'm saying. And in a 98A star match, I thought this would have done, but I forget what the first one did. John Morrison tries all his might, but Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar, and you're not going to overcome that. He gets hit with an F5 in 21-21 to be defeated by Brock Lesnar. He put up a good effort. Brock's not going too ham. He's obviously got to fight John Morrison, but Brock Lesnar is a smart beast. he's going to save his intensity for the champion and the people who really pissed him off. Speaking of people who really pissed him off, that's when Brock Blonster is attacked from behind by The Miz and Randy Orton. And they look like they actually got a chance of beating up Brock and laying him laid down when John Morrison comes, starts brawling with The Miz, and Brock Lesnar turns to Randy Orton's like, I remember this motherfucker, and just beats his ass. And the quote-unquote faces kind of run up the stairs as John Morrison and Brock Lesnar, having just fought. John's basically just trying to pick himself up. Brock really doesn't give a shit. But they do stand tall at the end of the Barclays Show event. Well, it's Raw. And that's how we end the show. 97.8 pop up in 25 regions. Always good to see. Great episode of Monday Night Raw. And I will see you guys for the next episode of SmackDown.